it is Christian and Corey of SuperKamiGuru9000, and we are here to review Naruto Chapter 563. And it is a awesome chapter, so sit tight. Here comes the review.
The beginning of the chapter brings us back to the huge-ass battlefield, the one that's going on between Madara and the 5 Kage, and they're finally getting ready to begin their battle. Before they begin, Madara is being his complete smug self, where he's basically talking down to all the Kage in front of him, saying anything less would be, not really an adequate challenge. He's such an asshole. Anywho, Inoki and Gaara are still kind of, Gaara and Inoki are still kind of hurt from their last battle, and they're being healed by Tsunade right now, and while they're doing that, this is a good opportunity for the Mizukage and the Raikage to attack Madara, and they use their signature techniques on a whole new scale that we've never actually seen before. And this is very similar to the battle at the Kage Summit with Sasuke. He basically was using the same techniques that Madara is using in this battle, but everything in this one's just on a much larger scale. Mizukage's got the giant wall of lava coming out all over the place.
Gigantic.
Raikage's using his signature lightning techniques and his speed to try and punch Madara. He even gets one right in Madara's jaw, but,
bam.
It doesn't matter because like Sasuke, like Itachi, like every other freaking Uchiha character, he summons his giant Susanoo.
So while this fight going on with Madara and the Raikage and the Mizukage is going on, we got a group of good Danzo and those leaf ninjas that brought the Mizukage here, which for some reason I cannot remember their name, but they're here all the time now. We need to do that. While this is going on, they're looking for Mu. They're like, hey, when they're fighting the big guy, we're going to go get Mu. And Mu is like pretty weak right now. I'm not saying he's weak. He's still a, a Kage or whatever. But he is split in two, so they're going to go chase after him. And, these guys may have a chance of getting him. So we finally get to see Madara Uchiha's range attack with his Susanoo. He just ends up pulling out all these Uchiha highs and just throwing them at the Alliance.
Luckily for the Alliance, they have 2 of the really powerful Kages on their team, and they're both really great at defense, and that's Gaara and Inoki. And they use a brand new defense technique, one we've never seen before. It's actually kind of a combination technique. And they didn't give a name for it, but I'm going to affectionately refer to it as the Hidden Rock Formation Doggy-Style Technique. And it's a really interesting looking technique. You can actually see that Gaara has summoned his giant Sand Mother, and that Inoki has summoned his giant Rock Golem, and they seem to be getting intimate with each other. You can actually see that basically Gaara's mom is f***ing the giant rock golem. So when there's like thousands of ninja on the battlefield and there's a giant skeleton that's on fire with 4 arms and it's destroying everything, you just have to bring out your most strongest techniques and you gotta think like a ninja. And they're thinking like ninjas in this chapter. You know why? Because Raikage needs to get faster, and there's only one way to do that. Him and Inoki actually team up, and Inoki actually gets on his back almost like a little piggyback ride, and he uses his lightning technique, or lightning technique, to actually lighten up the Raikage himself so that he's able to move faster. When I saw this, it totally reminded me out of the scene from Empire Strikes Back with Yoda training with Luke Skywalker.
Inoki lightening up Raikage is not the only thing they end up doing together in this chapter. Actually, there's one of the most epic attacks in this chapter, and that's when Inoki and the Raikage sneak up on Uchiha Madara, and it almost looks like he gets a rock fist. I might be wrong, but it's just he has the name Rock in the name of the attack, and it just launches Uchiha Madara right out of his Susanoo. And it's just funny because that technique has always looked to be this badass shield, and there's Raikage kicking the Susanoo's ass. So it's just so funny when all this is going on. Naruto's like, come on, heal me, I want to fight, I want to fight. And then like the rest of the Raikages just end up sitting Naruto down in this, life or death battle. And what do they end up talking to him about?
Basically, it's just the same old tried and true shonen thing that we've been having shoved down our throats for the last 2 months. And that's that Naruto, even though he's the main character, can't, carry the burden of everything that's going on in this war, and he has to rely on his teammates. And that's what they're basically telling him to do. You need to go deal with Madara, let us deal with this Madara, and all the other friggin' Zetsu stuff, and you just go do your own thing. Naruto, now getting some sage advice from the Kages, decides to leave the battlefield, and you can see his clone actually poof into the little, smoke cloud that always happens. And we cut away to the real Naruto, who's still in Kyuubi mode with Killer Bee, and he realizes himself, yeah, this is it, I'm finally going to win, and I'm finally going to take on Madara. Fortunately for him, he's not going to have to wait very long, because the chapter actually ends with Madara literally running into Naruto. In fact, it's kind of blunt. In fact, Naruto actually runs into Tobi first and sees him, and this catches Tobi off guard, and he literally headbutts right into his face. God, I hope this cracks his mask open. Holy crap, another chapter with a lot of really crazy action in it. A lot of really good stuff I really enjoyed. before I jump into the obvious part that everybody's going to be talking about, which is the end of the chapter, I just want to bring up some of the stuff that I really enjoyed. The action in particular, I loved Mizukage and Raikage teaming up against Madara, and I felt it was a little bit of poetic justice as well, in particular for the Raikage, and that's just because, like we were saying earlier, this is almost like a very similar battle that Raikage had with Sasuke during the Kage Summit with the whole Susanoo and all that thing and everything. And what pissed me off about it, though, and this is just me sort of ranting a little bit here, in that battle, Raikage was fighting against Sasuke, and he didn't even have a fully formed Susanoo yet. And somehow in the battle, Raikage ends up losing a hand and not even being able to beat that version of Susanoo. But in this battle, it almost seems like he's been learning his lessons from the last time. And not only is he winning really, really good, but he punches the crap out of the Susanoo, and you can see that there's like a giant bolt of lightning just exploding out of the chest of the Susanoo himself, and that's really, really cool. And one more thing I just want to add, Madara at the beginning of the chapter, we mentioned, he was super, super smug about things, like, you know, he's saying, any less Kages than this, I wouldn't be able to handle, it just wouldn't even be fun, you know, blah, 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 blah. I summon giant meteors from the sky, what do you do? And it was great because not like 3 pages after this, there's this great panel with Raikage and Mizukage attacking him. And there's like one short panel where Raikage's fist is like this close to Madara's face, and Madara's like, "Oh shit, maybe I was wrong." And to me, that was just very, very satisfying. And obviously, the stuff at the end of the chapter with Naruto literally running into Tobi.
Literally.
And what I loved about it was when I first read it, I thought they just ran into each other, but you can clearly see that Naruto actually sees Tobi heading right towards him, and it's just awesome. And I love the way it's drawn on the last page. It gives me a lot of hope for what's going to happen.
Definitely. And like I was saying, this was an awesome chapter. I just really enjoyed it from like the beginning to the end. And a lot of times when you read Naruto, it's kind of like, okay, they're kind of finishing up something, but this time they just jumped right into the fight, and then we get that awesome ending. And I don't care that they're on break next week. I think it's totally worth it because they're probably going to spend their time drawing some awesome, awesome pages. And also, I thought it was funny because we had a lot of people comment last week that, oh, Madara's just going to pwn all the Kages, not even going to stand a chance. And, you know, maybe you're right. Maybe they won't win because we really don't know yet. But the point is that they're putting up a pretty good fight, and Madara actually hasn't really hurt any of them yet at all. So keep that in mind.
If anything, Madara's had more damage done to him than any of the Kages have had done to them yet so far. So
not like it matters because he's Edo Tensei, but still, the point is he hasn't landed any hits, and they have. So, you guys, for a rating this week, we're going to say 9.5 out of 10. And it's not that this chapter wasn't absolutely epic and great, and we got to see all the Kages fight. We got to see Naruto run into the final villain. Oh wait, that wasn't Kabuto. But you know what I'm saying? Like, we got some awesome setup, and I think if we gave it a 10, it'd be too early, because there's just so much epic stuff about to come up. So we just feel like 9.5 is just the best we can do now, and we know we're going to have some 10 out of 10s coming up. Because, let's face it, I mean, Naruto is kicking ass. It's probably one of the better ones of the big 3. Sorry, all you fanboys and girls of other series, but I mean, like, Naruto just consistently in the past 4 chapters has rocked. So I don't have a problem giving this
consistently chapter. For the last 4 months, it's rocked. I mean, it's knocking the other 2 out of the water. It's not even the big 3 anymore. It's the big 1.
Yeah, and, you know, Naruto just is awesome.
Saying Naruto's better than One Piece and Bleach, I'm going to get crucified for that.
Don't say that. We're not saying they're not good.
They suck.
Oh, shit. Okay. Question of the week time, people. Okay, so do you think Naruto is going to just get captured, and then we're just going to get a 10 tails, and everyone's going to lose? Or do you think he's going to kick Tobi's ass? Or maybe Killer Bee could get captured? I don't know. There are a lot of options. What do you think next chapter holds? Leave your comments below. And, you know, the best comments will probably get a reply from us.
If you liked our video, give it a thumbs up. Here we go.
Okay, you guys, until next time, SuperKamiGuru9000 out!